Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the instant match reaction to Everton 0, Chelsea 3. Not really much to say other than the best team won. For me, it was never ever a 3-0. It was never a 3-0 game. It was pretty poor, really. You know, considering we've been really good at home and won 8 on the run, and Chelsea, the best team in the land at the moment, it was a poor match. I thought it started off quite brightly, but after about 20 minutes, it deteriorated. The Everton side, obviously the disappointment of not having Schneiderlin in there played a massive part in this today. It's quite worrying, I suppose, that he's become such a key figure for us in such a short space of time. But it is what it is. Dominic Calvert-Lewin came in on the left. I thought he'd done well for the first 45 minutes. I thought in the second half he faded and was obviously substituted in the end. Yeah, you know, we started off, we nearly had the perfect start, didn't we? Calvert-Lewin hitting the post inside 90 seconds, you know, good saving call, so I pushed it onto the post. Rom couldn't react quick enough to the rebound. We had another couple of, you know, nice moves. We kept the momentum going, the pressure on them in the first 3 or 4 minutes and had them pegged back, and it looked like we were really up for it. But then they had a couple of really good chances, you know, the Hazard one when he skips round Stecklenberg, should score really, I suppose. It's the side net, and then Costa, you know, blazes one over when he should score. And then after that, it was really, there was not much happening in the game. You know, Rom had the shot that he pulled down and drove it just wide. He had one which could have been given as handball, which I don't know what he done with it, put it over the bar. And other than that, the game just petered out slowly, you know, went to a slower pace. It was flat. The place was flat. The teams were flat. You know, we go in half-time 0-0 and you're thinking, right, you know, the manager, you know, I would feel as though he would have a little bit of a go at us from our perspective because we haven't asked them enough questions. And we came out, and I suppose the first 5 minutes there was a little bit more intensity from us. Started pressing them back a little bit. But then that kind of dropped off as well. And both teams were just nullifying. They were obviously playing the way they play, trying to get Hazard going. I thought Garner was magnificent on Hazard for the best part of the game. Done a really good job on him because we know how good Eden Hazard is. I thought Tom Davies for us was really good. The rest of our players, as the game went on, it did look like we were on the beach, and that's not something I would say. It's the 4 games to go. It's not something I would feel that would happen to us, but it did look like that. You know, when you're watching it, you can just see that the intensity just wasn't there. You know, we put Enner Valencia up alongside Rom from the off, and he's been generally quite good, and he's gone on. And he ran around, and he tried to kind of make a difference, but it just didn't happen. I thought the forwards, the front 3, just done nothing, really. You know, Calvert-Lewin, after that one where he's hit the post, and then he had another shot a little bit after that. Other than that, his best work was done defensively on Victor Moses and trying to stop him. Rom was non-existent, really, up against a good defence, made very little impression. Valencia wasn't his normal self. Ross Barkley was really poor. Tried to get on. I thought he had a little bit of a better second half, but overall he was poor. You know, and at the back, Williams and Jags done all right, but then Jags does a back pass and they could get in, you know, they might have profited from that. You know, it's just too many holes in it. The whole game was all right, but, you know, it's really difficult, I suppose, to quantify. They were the better side, and like I said, they deserved to win, but, you know, up until Pedro's worldie, it was a crap game. It was a nothing. There was nothing happening in it, and it was always going to take something like that to open it up. And if Pedro scores on his wrong foot as well, an absolute stunner into the top corner to give them the lead. You know, I think for us the biggest thing is when you bring in a Runa Kone on the pitch and you've got Martin Stecklenberg in goal, it's showing you the big gaps. I mean, they brought on Willian and Fabregas, you know, them kind of players we're bringing on Kone. You know, my thoughts on Kone are well documented, you know. And that was the difference in class. You know, to get a second goal, it was a free kick, no question about it. I think it was the one with Garner, takes Hazard down, gets booked. Hazard fires it in, really poor goalkeeping, and it's 2-0. You know, and Stecklenberg, listen, he's played against Chelsea twice and we've been beaten 8-0 over the 2 games. And I don't think there's any coincidence in that. He's not good enough, no chance. You know, couldn't do anything about the first goal, but the second goal was really bad goalkeeping, and that killed the game. Give them the 3 points. Not that it, you know, but you don't know at 1-0 if you're hang on in there. Who knows? You know, we got a late point against United at home and Swansea, so you don't ever know. But you know, it ended up 2-0. Really bad goalkeeping, from my opinion. And then it went 3-0. With the third goal was a really good goal, but we just allowed them to play in front of us, you know. And Costa plays a lovely little ball, and it's Fabregas with a great run. He cuts it back, and Willian knocks it in. And like I say, 3-0 was very, very harsh on Everton, because I don't think it was a 3-0 win at all. 1-0 would have been about right, because I don't think they done particularly well. Are strong and they're capable, and they work hard for the manager, and they've got some great players. I just don't think they played that well today, but they've done more than enough to win the game. For us, from our perspective, going into the last 3 games of the season now, it's difficult to see where they're going to pick that tempo up. They were shocking at West Ham last week. They've not been much better this week. I'm not going to have a go at them. We've achieved our aim, our primary aim, which I suppose was to get back into Europe. So it's hard to be critical. It's hard to be too critical on the fact that they've lost the game as well today. You know, they've won the previous 8 on the run. They're playing a team that looks like they're going to win the league. You can't really have too much to go at them. So, but just the little things to take out the game. You know, a goalkeeper is an absolute must in the summer. There's no question about that. And offensively, but just not good enough. We're not, for all Rom's goals, too many games, and these games where we need him, he's non-existent. Now, part of it is his fault, and part of it is the fact that we don't create anything for him. So there's somewhere between those 2 problems, the manager's got to find the solution. And it's going to take 3 or 4 offensive players, you know, and however that pans out into our side, if other people, you know, if Ross Barkley leaves and we have to replace him with Sigurdsson and others, then that's the way it is. But ideally, Barkley would stay, as will Romelu Lukaku. But we've got to find the solutions, because when these teams, next season, when these teams come to Goodison, we need to be making sure they're in a game. We need to be testing them. You know, it's the same when we go away from home. We're too easy to mark, and we're too one-dimensional at times. We have to be able to mix that up. So there's some big areas of the pitch that need strengthening in the off-season. But like I say, on the results overall, Chelsea deserve to win it. Got no real complaints. Can't really moan. We've won 8 out of the last 9 home games. It is what it is. They're going to go on and win the league now. So we just got to get on. We've got to go to Swansea next week, who've got a good result today against United. We've got to go down to Swansea and we've got to turn them over. It's as simple as that. There's got to be a reaction, you know, and see what happens. But it is what it is, and we have to move on, don't we? Check out Ped's instant match reaction. The player ratings video, I'm quite sure, will be about 90 seconds or something like that, because there's not really much to say. And me and Ped will be in the studio tomorrow with the final word and the rewatch and all of that. Thanks for watching Toffee TV, and see you soon.